Alright guys, you probably noticed a reduction in production.
Shoot. I mean, Wolfman has been absent.
Yeah, and you're going to notice in the next couple of weeks or week or so, a handful of episodes that I might not be in it at all or very, very little. I've been in and out of the hospital. I had a major surgery. I'm on the mend, and it looks things are all looking good, so I should be back full strength, better than ever, hopefully in the next month or so. But until then, we have some of the great Wolf Tick Nation, some of our patrons filling in. So make sure you show them some love, and they were gracious enough to cover my spot and do what they could, and working with him. So,
all right, guys. Homeboy almost died on us. But
yeah, I'm good now, though. Yeah, I'm back from death.
So after these few episodes, guys, we'll be getting the Wolfman back introduced. But please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the episode. Yeah. Wolf Tick Nation, thank you guys for tuning into once again another Wolf Tick Videos episode. On today's episode, we got old Jeremy here, one of our patrons and longtime supporters of the channel. And Jeremy, it's his new bike day. So what have we got here, Jeremy? Make sure you talk loud for the camera.
It's a Poseidon Norton hardtail. Okay. It's not a television like the box shows. It's a relaxed geometry, modern geometry. Okay. It's supposed to have boost-through axles, tapered head tube, internal routing, all the modern stuff you'd want. Some of the componentry is more of the use it for a little while and then upgrade it stuff, but the frame itself should be good for a lot of upgrades.
It's a builder's bike. Yeah. Normally $9.99. You got it on sale for what?
$6.99.
$6.99, guys. Let's cut this box open and let's take a look at what Jeremy got.
Get off my hand!
Tomatoes!
The TV is so the FedEx people don't accidentally stick a forklift through it.
Isn't that crazy, guys? It's a TV, so like I said, the FedEx guys don't pick a hole in it.
They think it's fragile, for real.
All right, Wolf Tick. Hey, don't open it yet, Jeremy.
Very anxious.
All right, Wolf Tick Nation. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what we got.
A lot of foam.
Boom! It's covered entirely in foam. I've never seen a bike package like this. Something's missing.
Wheels.
Wheels. Oh, there's wheels back there. Flat wheels.
Well, maybe that's for safety for the trip.
Dude, I hope it's got rotors.
Maybe in the parts box over here.
27.5 by 2.35 Kenda. Not bad looking. A little Suntour XCM 34 coil. I have never seen that. So this right here is the Wintech, which we've done a real-time review on before, guys. Those are the mechanical but hydraulic brakes.
Yep.
That is cool.
They must have a zip tie guy at the factory who's just all zip ties.
Zip, 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 zip.
Yeah, there's still about 4 more over here.
All right, we've got a 31.6mm seat post tube.
Which is handy. I think that's one of the most common sizes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No. I don't know how comfortable it's going to be, but it looks cool. See if we can finally see what this frame is all about. Hey, Jeremy, what size is this frame?
This is an extra large.
Extra large. Yes. How tall are you?
6'3".
Jeremy's 6'3" with the extra large frame, and he's got a custom built Merino that is sweet. Oh, that's a nice looking top tube.
Yeah, it's a double butted 60-61 aluminum.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be tough enough to handle downhill, so it should be tough enough to handle me on the flats.
Hey, we're gonna be doing some downhill today.
Yeah, we may have to put a different rider on it for the downhills, but we'll test it.
You guys see that?
Man. It's got the matte black with the gloss for the lettering, for the brand name. I'm hoping the head tube has the gloss emblem too.
I'm hoping the head tube,
or maybe even white. I wouldn't care either way.
I'm hoping the head tube at this point, the way that this bike is packaged, you know, I'm hoping that there's a headset in it.
Oh, I imagine there should be somewhere, maybe in the parts box.
No headset.
No headset.
That's weird. No,
okay.
No headset.
Okay.
It's empty. They expect you to build this sucker for sure. This is definitely a builder's bike.
I think they said 80% build, what they call this build.
I mean, just imagine this, guys. You get a whole bunch of upgrades already bought for your bike. You know what I'm saying? Like a really good headset or something like that. Like you got the crank set in there already. But you buy a whole bunch of stuff and you called it. You said it was a builder's bike when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like you buy all that stuff and then you can go ahead and throw it on as you're building it up.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing out of the box. Let's get the bike stand over here. Let's build it up and then we're going to do a little once over and it's going to be very scientific. All right? Science.
All the science.
There's even a dog on the seat post too.
Yeah, that's Norton.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the namesake. All right, well, he's getting ready to build that up. Let's see what's in this box of goodies here. I'm assuming pedals and whatnot. Let's see. Something about a warranty. There's the headset we were looking for. Obligatory plastic pedals, rotors, frame protector. Comes with a little frame protector, bare through axle or the through axle. So looks like we have everything we need. Let's build this up.
My question, why the hell is there watch your hand, why is there such a big cover on the rotor protector when there's no rotor?
LeBron Photo, not.com, and we were about to install the headset, but it turns out that it looks like the cups are built in and you just have to put the bearings in.
You just drop it in. Oh, fancy little grease gun there. Here, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I'll get my fingers dirty. Put some more on this side.
A little more on there.
Yeah, no, don't you.
More?
Yeah, a little more.
Oh, okay, all right.
We don't have to be cheap with the grease. The grease is cheap enough.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you could wipe off the excess, but it's I'd rather have too much than too little.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So let me get this.
No such thing as over lubrication in this situation.
We'll push this guy in.
Oh man, that's so much easier than having to cram it into the headset
and that's there. So now we have to do the same thing on the bottom.
And really, what it probably says is when we put that fork in there, it'll probably compress it.
Oh yeah.
Evenly. All right, guys, got the bike built up, bunch of teamwork involved with that. Now here we go. She's built up the Poseidon Norton. Now the only thing that we did change up that doesn't come stock on this bike is gonna be some awesome looking Bontrager pedals that old Jeremy got a deal on. It says very important for the feet to continue to stick to the pedals. All right. Now, before we get started on this, you guys are probably wondering where Wolfman is. Wolfman's had a crazy bout, like 4 days in the hospital, but we did take some goodies away from the hospital. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the initial impressions on this thing. The Poseidon Norton, normally a $999 bike. This is a 27.5 for $699. It's an extra large. So I'm guessing all the frames, this being the biggest, it's only offered in 27.5?
Yes, they're all 27.5 spec only. Yep.
All right, all 27.5 spec. Let's talk about the group set. That's probably one of my favorite things on this bike, just looking at beside the frame. It is a 6061 aluminum frame. Now the group set's going to be the Advent X group set 1x10, 32 tooth. Round, or is that an oval?
No, it's round.
It's
and
round.
Already narrow wide too.
32 tooth round, narrow wide chainring up front. We've got an awesome 11 to 48 tooth cassette on this. Now the difference with the Advent and the Advent X is the clutch, right, or the chain stabilizer. This right here has got the clutch on there. I'm sure whenever he's riding, we ain't gonna get a whole bunch of chatter. We're actually gonna be riding this thing here in a little bit, probably at Mount Nebo. All right. So we've got that 175 millimeter aluminum crank arms. They're the Charm brand. And something that we're both confused on is like, you got a really cool crank set, you got an awesome group set, but why don't you have like a hollow bottom bracket just to help out with a little bit of the lightness? How much is this bike supposed to weigh? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's, I think around 30, 31. It's not the lightest.
A lot of that's going to be because of that big old boat anchor up front. But what we're saying, we're getting that, maybe to help out with some of that weight, they should have given a hollow because this is a tapered sealed cartridge. And that sucker, guys, before we put the channel in there, super smooth. So that's pretty impressive on that. Let's talk about the wheel set. Now the tires we've got in here are the Kenda Slant 6 27.5 by 2.35. Not the grippiest of tire, but Jeremy, you say you ride a bunch of clay and flat anyway.
It should be able to do kind of dual purpose for gravel and light duty stuff. I'm not doing a lot of big
Nothing
jumps,
crazy.
So.
Okay, nothing crazy on that. Again, it's 27.5 aluminum wheel set. The thing I do like about the rear here on the chain stays is there's plenty of room back there to go up from probably a 2.8. I mean, definitely a 2.8 on the rear here. I don't know what the heck you want to run up front, but I would run 2.8 rear and front on this bike for sure. But it gives you plenty of room for that for upgrades with tires, which I'm a fan of. Oh, and it's pressed to drill for the rims. Let's talk about the bars. The bars are a 780 flat with a 60 millimeter stem 4-bolt. That's got a 7-degree rise on it. Bars look really good, and the thing that Jeremy had mentioned that's kind of impressive with this bike, we actually have lock-on grips it comes from, right? Or it comes with lock-on grips.
They feel good. I was going to replace them today, but I don't think I will.
And I'm a thin grip man. Those guys are really thin. They feel grippy. They feel good. Now talking about the bar area, the stem, all that good stuff before we get to the fork, let's talk about these brakes. Something that's very interesting that you don't see a lot of, I don't think we've ever bought a bike on the channel, I had one sent to us, that has cable actuated hydraulic brakes. That is pretty cool. So we've got the Tektro RX 1.0 levers up here, and then we've got the hydraulic actuated calipers, I guess, that are the Wintech. And we've actually done a real-time review and initial impressions on the Wintech. It's kind of neat. Yeah, I think they're powerful. We had a little bit, LeBron was trying to get them all nice and centered up, but a lot of that might just be pad wear and them being so brand new. Yeah, 180 millimeter rotors, front and rear, right? Yeah, 180 millimeter rotors. Seat post tube is a 31.6 millimeter aluminum, and the seats, the saddle, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. I don't know.
It's not bad. Another nice thing about this is it's already pre-drilled for a dropper. And it's got the clips and everything in the back of the seat post, and everything's pretty well set up for it. So.
It's a really good looking frame, and I'm glad you said it, because it's all internally routed, you know, so it's really clean, and I like the black on black, and it's like a matte black, you know. Let's talk about the fork. Now, this is probably one of the not as so exciting things with this bike, but again, guys, $699, it's a builder's bike, so you can go get some upgrades, put a little bit extra money into it, and with $699, hell, you ain't gonna get hurt, you know what I'm saying? We've got a XCM34 Boost fork, 100 millimeters of travel, the SR Suntour up front, 27.5. I mean, I think what would be kind of cool. I have to see how you do the standover on this bike and how it feels, but I think it would be pretty neat, guys, with this bike, is to make it a mullet bike.
That was kind of the thought in the back of my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I would like to see this thing being a mullet bike.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty neat. But overall, I don't know. I think it's a clean bike. Again, probably 32 pounds. What's the geometry on this bike?
Okay, so it's pretty progressive, and it's a fairly modern geometry set. The head tube is 65 degree, which is right in there with the pretty slack head tube. It's got a 75 degree seat tube angle. The chain stays are nice and short at 430. I mean, it's all pretty progressive geometry. It's like a lot of it's really more expensive bikes. You know, the $1,500 to $2,000 bikes have this same geometry coming out now. So the fact that you're in at a third of that price and can build it how you want is kind of what drew me to it.
Okay, well, guys, let's do this. Let's get the Advent X. Let's take the clutch off. Let's do a little shift test action. We're going to do a standover. We're going to do a positive, negatives, and who this bike is for with Jeremy, because Wolfman's in the trailer. He's hurting. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, show you boys some love. All right, guys, a little shift test action. Right now we are in, did I say it's a 10-speed?
It's a 10-speed, yeah.
Okay, we're in 10th gear, and we're going to be off on the clutch. Well, let me see here.
That may be on. I don't know. I haven't missed it. Oh, that's probably off.
Yeah, we're going to go off. A lot of times I would recommend whenever you tune these things in, if we have to tune it, you do them with them off. But bikes always shift differently on us.
That it's going to wiggle on you guys.
Okay, I think we're at that.
LeBron side busting. Okay. 10th gear. Let's go to 9th.
Yep, let me figure this out. There we go. There we go.
8th. 7th. 6th. 5. 4. Okay. 3. 2. 1. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a micro shift for you.
Dude, micro shift solid stuff. All right, shift to 10th the fastest you can.
All right.
Go ahead. Bam, 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 bam. Perfect. Hey, that was hell of a shift test. Hey, just for giggles, go and stop that real quick. What I want you to do is give it one good thumb press. I just want to see what gear it goes into. 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th gear.
Yeah, that
Dude,
bottomed out.
this is going to be nice whenever you're climbing and hitting the ups and downs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be really nice. I can't wait for you to jump on this thing. All right, guys, that was the shift test. Let's do a little bit. That's smooth. Let's do a little bit of standover, and we'll do some positive and negatives.
All right, let's do the standover test. I'm anticipating it'll be pretty good. Oh yeah, acres of room. We're good. Yeah, let's see if the lock actually works. I may just leave it locked. Oh, hey, the lock actually works. Huh. Wasn't expecting the lock to work on a cheaper fork like that. All right, let's do some positive, negatives, and who this bike is for.
All right, guys, the Poseidon Norton 27.5, normally $999, $699. A little bit of positives and negatives, and who this bike is for. Let's talk about the positives and the negatives.
Positives, the frame's ready for upgrades out of the box. We don't have to do anything silly to it to put a better fork on it.
Okay.
We don't have to do anything to it to run boost. Everything's already set up for boost. It's already got a 1x, even though potentially the crank would be, that may be more on the negative side, but at least it's already 1x, so you don't have to mess with taking off the derailleurs or anything like that. It's got a good group set right out of the box.
Great group
Probably
set.
don't even need to worry about
You don't have to worry about tuning it.
Yeah, it's just ready to go right out of the box. That's a real big positive. 180's already out of the box. So like a lot of the main upgrades I normally do with a budget bike, this has already got on it. So
okay, that's positives. I love the internal routing. The grips, the bar, all that stuff feels really good. Like I said, the crank set, I like all that. Let's talk about some negatives.
Negatives would be the fact that it's not a full hydraulic brakes.
Okay.
Which is kind of hard to say for the price point, but
yeah,
the coil fork.
Coil fork's a negative. That'd been nice if you got an air fork, you know, because I mean, let's face it, this bike's a $1,000 bike.
Normally,
right? Yeah. Normally, you would expect for at least have like a little cheap air fork, you know.
At least they did go the route where it's easier to replace the fork than the group set, and so if I had to choose whether I'd replace one or the other, I'd rather replace the fork than the group set.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree with that, because that's just you
the
get
tuning and all the
you
other
open
nonsense.
up a can of worms with that.
So
negative on that. I mean, the pedals we could say are negative. You got your own pedals, but all bikes come with either no pedals or plastic pedals like that. So kind of a negative there. Now let's talk about who this bike is for. I'm going to say who it's for. It's for guys like you, guys for like me, guys that are watching the channel. This is the builder's bike. And what's awesome, is it still on sale, do you know?
It is. Right now it's still on sale,
We'll put some links down in the description below. I'm not sure if there are any affiliate links, guys, but the price, definitely a positive, but this bike is for the guy that wants to have something right out of the box that he can go to a meetup, maybe a Patron meetup, and be like, hey, I want you guys to build this bike. I want to ride this thing. You know, we have stuff that you can count on as far as all the mechanical components, right? But then you go, man, you know, I need a new fork. You know, it's just the front end's a little wobbly. I don't really like the front. Then bam, you get a new fork, and then you could put a little bit of money into it as you go. You already got the pedal upgrade. Who do you think this bike is for?
I think it's for somebody who's maybe been riding gravel or been maybe riding road or maybe been auto biking for a while, and they want to get into a mountain bike, but they don't want to get into the typical starter bike where almost all the components need to be replaced. This is for somebody who took some time, did a little research, and say, okay, I want to get this bike because I know I have an upgrade path. Yeah. So like the person who's just getting back into it but has a little bit of knowledge involved and wants to get something
wants to get their hands dirty. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a really good buy for $699. Again, there's a couple things we can nitpick about it, but I love the looks of this bike. It's got the tapered head tube. You've got was that a 12mm through axle on the rear? Yeah. 12mm through axle on the rear. You got the through axle on the front. Boost. You already got a boost wheel. You want to get a big old beefy fork. Like it's got a great upgrade path on it. I'm excited to see what you're going to do to it.
As far as calling it a builder's bike, I forgot to mention they sell it as just the frame for like $250 too.
$250 for just the frame?
Just the frame by itself, $250. So if you already had some components, or you wanted to spec it however you wanted, you can get just a nice progressive frame that's already modern geo and tapered head tube and internal routing for $250, which is a pretty good bargain.
Well, I think you need to mullet it. Guys, put in the comments, should Jeremy mullet this bike?
Yes.
Yeah, leave it in the comments.
The mullet's not in the cards for me, but the bike is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I know old captains call El Capitans like to mullet it, you know. But all right, guys. Well, hey, that was another Wolfstick Videos episode. Make sure you guys comment, right? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Show Wolfman some love. He's sitting over there. And show Jeremy some love. Thank you for sharing the bike. I'm glad we all got to get a little hand in it and build it. Hopefully it holds up on the trails later.
Yeah. We'll give it a good test.
All right, guys. Another initial impressions. New bike day for Jeremy. We will see you guys on the next episode.